Alright, yo, what's up, everybody? This is Cutter Dog. Welcome to the Cutter Dog Podcast Show. I'm just getting everything sorted out, so give me a minute. Alright, we need that there. Yo, Wookie with the lurk. Thanks for the alert, bud. How you doing? Alright, let's test that out and see how that sounds. Let's try that again, shall we? Alright, well, we're going to have to worry about that sound later. Maybe someone will come in and let me know why it's doing that staticky feedback like that. Could be the sound card on my laptop's a piece of shit. Well, someone complains and we'll figure it out. I don't know what it would be. That doesn't stop it either. Well, that just mutes me. That just muted me. Just don't know what that fucking sound is. It's the fucking... That's even worse. That doesn't help. Oh boy, looks like it's gonna be one of those. Hi, you look like bush camp dad. What are you doing? Trying to figure out why my microphone is not picking up correctly. All right. Well, yeah, because I'm not doing any desktop audio. So why is that happening? Maybe I need the drivers. Let me look at something. Alright guys, we're trying to figure out why I'm getting static through this new mic on TikTok. So give me a few minutes. How's that? Got it fixed. How's that? That's probably better, huh? Well, anything's better than... At least this way there's no, like, feedback. Alright, well, that's what we're going with. I think the laptop sound card is kind of trash, but... I don't hear that noise. What about now? I think we're good. I think we want to go that way though, right? Oh no, we want to go that way. Alright, ladies and germs. I think we got it kind of figured out. Best we're gonna. I think we'll just go USB. Alright, well, let's do some Am I the Asshole? I gotta figure out where my phone went. All right in front of my face, so we're good. See if I still have a fucking bank account. What's up, everybody on TikTok? Tell you, it really sucks when and sometimes the closest people to you are the ones you gotta fucking worry about the most, right? Oh, what does that do? I mean, the pickup is pretty damn good. That static is weird though, but I mean, it's not terrible, right? We can all bear with it. Could just be the laptop is cheap. Alright, let's do some I'm not an asshole. Hello, Aaliyah. How are you doing? Sorry, but working on some stuff here. Weird. Karen Stanko, Goosh. I can't read that. Goosher. So, so we're gonna do some Reddit reads. Just seems like it shouldn't be that fuzzy though, right? Well, now you're not gonna hear shit if I do that, right? Desktop audio, but I don't even need that. Hey, it works. So today my office building was throwing a little fiesta themed event. They offered free lunch in the cafeteria. A bunch of us went down to grab food. While I was standing in line, I opened the Nest camera app to check on something and saw a little bird that's been showing up outside every day. I laughed and casually said to no one in particular, this bird comes to visit me every day. Right after I said that, a coworker who has made pregnancy comments towards me before came up, rubbed my belly without asking, and said something like, maybe it's because you've got a baby bird on the way. I felt this immediate wave of rage, like, why are we still doing this in 2025? So I said, Don't be wishing that kind of bad luck on me. What, getting pregnant would be bad luck? Because you got too much going on or something? She looked super taken aback, and my boss overheard. Here, you know what we're going to do. Oh, that's it. Okay, so I might ask for stamping when someone rubbed my belly and implied that I might be pregnant. Okay, but what I don't understand is I don't know. Maybe they're just being cutesy, and then two, why are you saying that's bad luck to get pregnant? She looked super taken aback, and my boss, who overheard, also looked at me like I just said something offensive. It felt like I was the crazy one for being upset, but I didn't ask to be touched. I'm not pregnant, and I really don't like people making those kinds of comments about my body. And I'm wondering, am I the asshole for acting that way? I mean, yeah, it's not what you say. It's not. Yeah, it's not what you say. It's how you say it, right? Like, first of all, why is it bad luck if you would have got pregnant? Maybe in the timing, maybe bad timing. But I don't know about bad luck. I don't think it's bad luck. So that's kind of weird. All right, now I can read chat better over there, so that's good. That little static is just going to be something we're going to have to live with. Not a big deal. She looked super taken aback. Oh, I already said that. Yeah, I think you're an asshole for the way that you said it. It's not always what you say; it's how you say it. And if you come across, like, I mean, that wasn't necessary to be that harsh, right? You could have just joked back, like, "Oh, not the greatest timing. Be careful there," like something, something lighthearted joke back. But to react that way, it's kind of like a dick move. Sorry, guys, I'm just preoccupied with the fact that I have to worry about certain things that I shouldn't have to worry about, considering where I am. But anyway, so, yeah. There's a long one here. it's a different one. I can't show you. I can't read off the same one. There we go. We're on the same page. This is a good one. Am I the asshole for not helping a random guy get into his car? I'm a 21-year-old male. Nope, I'm a 20-year-old woman. Sorry. No, I'm a 20. I'm not a 20-year-old man. Okay, this is getting out of hand. Let's start over. I'm a 20-year-old woman, right? And this morning I was sitting in my car in a parking lot waiting for an appointment. A man came up to my window and I did not roll it down to speak to him, so he spoke loudly enough for me to hear. He said that he was locked out of his car and needed my key to get in. Said he was locked out of his car. I said no. He kept saying stuff to me and getting angry, but I just shook my head and ignored him. He goes back to his car and then comes back over to me a second time. He said, "Our cars are the same model and your key can get me into my car." I said, "That's not going to work." He said, "Yes, it will. Please just give me your key." I said, "I don't have a key." And he got really angry and started cussing at me, flipping me off, and kept yelling at me. He went back to his car and then came back over to me a third time. I refused to look at him. Like, where the fuck are you sitting? That long that this dude is able to come up to you 3 fucking times. I was sitting in my car in a parking lot waiting for an appointment. Oh, okay. Yo, what's up, Mr. Werewolf? I couldn't figure out how the fuck this person was sitting there long enough for this other guy to walk up to her car 3 fucking times. Sneal, what's up? Hi, Bree. Hi, bro. What's up, bro? But yeah, I was like, this guy's come up to your car 3 fucking times. Like, how the fuck do you, like, where are you at? What stoplight are you at? But she was in a parking lot waiting on an appointment. So that makes a big difference. So, yeah. He went back to his car and came back to me third time. I refused to look at him, but he kept getting in my line of sight and cussing and yelling at me. I shook my head at him and kept saying no. He flipped me off several times and kept cussing at me and yelling at me and went back to his car. Well, at this time, maybe, like, I don't know, you might want to leave. Call your appointment and say what's going on. I then saw him talk to several other people and point at me, and the people would turn to look at me and then walk away. It looked like he was explaining his situation to them and telling them I refused to help him. One of the people he talked to even yelled at me, "He needs your key." I shook my head at him too. I eventually had to get out of my car to go to my appointment, and the guy started yelling at me and cussing again. And I quickly made sure my doors were locked and got away from him. While I was leaving, I saw a locksmith or something help him open his car. So it turns out he was being truthful. I truly don't think I did anything wrong, but apparently not everyone thinks so, since some of the random person he talked to tried to get me to help as well. I'd have called the cops. Yeah, right? First of all, I think a grown man should be able to understand that aggressively approaching a girl while she is not alone is wise. And the girl is obviously not going to feel safe going to a random man's car by herself. Well, you said other people showed up. You could have waited for other people. Or the first time you told him no, yeah, when you told him no and he started getting irate, like by the time he comes back a third time, you should be calling the police, right? Because what if you had gotten out of the car or something, right? I mean, the guy, it's his behavior also, right? His behavior too. Like, he may have totally been 100% honest and innocent, but, like, when you started to get irate, I'm sure he would rather deal with them than my sidearm. Yeah. Not that we're implying anything, right? Because we don't want to imply anything. But yeah, I mean, all you can do is like, you got to be like, hey, listen, like as sweet as you can, like, excuse me, I'm so sorry to bother you, but I have like the identical car that you have, and I was wondering if you'd be willing to try maybe your key to unlock my door, because my key's in there, but I can't get to it, and I'm pretty sure, I read somewhere, is that something you'd be willing to do? Right? And then if she says, no, I'm sorry, I'm not, I'll just be like, okay, I apologize. Walk away and then go call whatever that thing is. Lock a key or what's Lock a Smith, Road Lock. What is that fucking thing called? They'll come out and unlock your doors for you and shit, right? And then once you got irate, this girl's already not gonna fucking help you now, right? Then you're getting other people involved, so now you're making her, by going over there and bitching to these other people, right? That this lady won't help you, and she's got the identical car. And I like how one of them yelled at you, like, one of them yells at you, like, he needs your key. None of them bothered to say, hey, you gotta understand, dude, this is a girl alone in her car, and you're fucking going up to her aggressive, like she's not gonna give you the key, right? How come nobody else thought of that? So, like, I cannot blame the girl at that point, right? And the guy, it was his demeanor, right? Yeah, he totally was helping it, but at the first time the lady said no, you should understand it's, she's worried about her safety. It's no reflection on anything other than it's just the thing that happens. So you got to just understand if she doesn't want to help you, she's not comfortable getting out alone with you around there. And then when you got other people involved, she's now humiliated, so she's not going to help you. So you escalated to the wrong point, but you should have just gone back after the first question, right? My state is a stand your ground state, so he'd be effed if he pushed it, right? Mr. All-Arounder, Hio. Is that Hio or Hilo? Just so everybody knows, though, I ban trolls, like, quickly, so if you're just trolling, like, don't bother. I'm just doing my podcast on my YouTube channel that I usually game on, which, hard-pressed to get people to watch, but, hey, it's just a dude in the fucking room. What am I supposed to do, right? I mean, I ain't Superman. So yeah, I don't think she's the asshole at all. Uh, if a woman doesn't feel comfortable, the dude has to know to back off. But like, really, who are we to say, like, oh, that's stupid, why doesn't she just trust the guy, right? You can't trust people these days. And it's just one of those things. It's better to be safe and have been wrong, like, about the person, right? Than to have been careless and then, been right about your affirmation of being afraid, right? So, it's better that you stayed safe and you pissed the person off than you threw caution to the wind and got yourself hurt, right? So, You don't know, right? I would rather risk the person being pissed off at me. You know, it's his problem, not mine. So you can't come yelling at me. And if you do, then I'm definitely not helping you, and now you're fucking stuck and worse. So my state has a stand. Where did we determine you were at again? I forgot. I'm sorry, I'm so bad. That's my problem with losing all my brain cells. I know you were in Jersey, but you're not there anymore. You moved somewhere else, and I forgot. North Carolina. That's right. Okay. I'm sorry. That is part of my issue. Is even that I'll probably tell you something, and then you'll say a comment. I'll read your comment, and then I won't know what you were referring to. Right? You'll say something like, "Oh, what color was the car?" I'll be like, "What car are we talking about?" So you'll have to forgive me. Hey, man, I'm gonna need my lawyer. Well, after all you said that, you still want me to comment on, man, what's your thought on AI getting powerful these days? Well, what is my thought? I think people are getting, if you want my honest thought, and you're not going to honestly troll, I don't think that, I mean, I think we're worrying too much about AI. AI and robots are never going to fully take over because we're the ones that have to build them. We're the ones that have to fix them. You know, I mean, we're building like RoboCops and robots, and we're bringing back fucking species from 10,000 years. Like, have we learned nothing from, like, you know, fucking Jurassic Park, and fucking Detroit Become Human, and Terminator, and fucking RoboCop? Like, does anybody not learn from that? So, but my point also is that we have to be the ones that fix them. So, I mean, I think it's cool. I think the advantages of AI are cool. Everything's going to have to be, you know, I guess done in moderation, so to speak. Uh, so, I mean, everything's going to have to be built with a fail-safe, right? You know, I mean, you know, these, like, you know, overrides, system overrides by the robot and stuff. Like, I think it's just a lot of paranoia. So, I don't know. That's my thoughts on AI getting powerful these days. You asked, there you go. I tell you, man. Can I just do one thing? Yeah, I know. I'm going to be a little late, motherfuckers, so back off. I have to go to the doctor tomorrow, so I will not be doing anything until the evening. Gotta go to my GI, and because of the car getting totaled and them having to find a new car, I have to use medical transportation, so I'll be gone most of the day. I think it's like anything else. AI will have its good points and bad. It could be abused and weaponized, etc. It's all in who do you utilize it, says, and how. Well, yeah. I mean, that's ultimately, like, you gotta figure, especially with mankind, right? If we technically, it's like a catch-22, right? What are we gonna probably want to try to do? Right? Build soldiers. Right? And then you got to worry about fail-safes that they don't turn on us. But, you know, you got to look at it also that, like, you know, you build android soldiers, you know, Terminators, basically. then you spare like human lives. But if things get out of hand, right, then you've got Terminator. This is what I'm saying. Like, just be careful, like you said, what hands it falls under and what we want to do with it. Because if you don't know what happens, watch Terminator. Um, Play Detroit Become Human. Right? Watch RoboCop. Yeah, shall I keep going? Like, so, we're cloning like 10,000-year-old expired species, not expired, but extinct species, the dire wolves, which in itself is cool, but yo, we're actually making movies that are our own warning and we're not fucking paying attention, right? It's like we're making these movies about Jurassic Park that technically we can do this stuff and we can, right? And they're doing it now. They brought back the dire wolves because the technology that's the same that's used in the concept of Jurassic Park. We could pull DNA out of a bone. They pulled DNA off of fucking excavated bone. Do you guys get that? Which means we could pull it out of sap like that could be petrified for 1 billion years. So the next step in that evolution not only could be potentially, like we can make animals to have more food, but it could backfire because it could be like Jurassic Park where, the best line in that movie is when Ian says, everybody, was all, happy-go-lucky about the fact that we could. Nobody stopped to think about if we should, right? The best fucking line of it, right? That's the best fucking line in Jurassic Park. Not my second favorite line, but the best line. The line that everybody needs to listen to over and over, right? We're all hustling around about like that we could, but nobody bothered to stop and think, should we? Right? Same thing. Yeah, Cyberpunk is a good example, right? That game is a good example of human cybernetics and what we might do when we find out, like, oh, I got this cybernetic enhancement and look what it did. Shit, I'm just going to, get it in the other hand too, right? Or I'm going to do this, or, like, hey, but then again, it could be where those cybernetics benefit because what, like, like eyes, like people losing an eye or something like that. You get a cybernetic eye, but, we got to be careful, like, how it goes. What was it, mixed with, like, a regular wolf? Hey, but the fact is, a DNA of a dire wolf lives now, today. So we technically, there's, for lack of a better argument, yeah, we did bring back dire wolves after 10,000 fucking years, right? So as long as the DNA is alive, we brought back a dire wolf. Maybe not in its purest form, but that's the thing. We're never going to be able to do that. So if we try to go in the line of dinosaurs and stuff, like, be careful what you wish for, because what you're going to bring back is going to be something mutated, right? Something different. Right? It's not going to be quite exactly like what it is, because you're taking a DNA and, more than likely we're going to have to combine it with DNA to get that DNA to, to start like living again. So, all I'm saying is this stuff is cool. I would love, like, to be able to, like, I don't know, like, just be careful, right? Just be careful when messing with this. If it's used, like, smart things is the perfect cloning and all this stuff and increase our food supply, right? That would be the reason to, like, clone, stuff like that. But AI and stuff, you know what? AI has got a lot of good things, guys. Like, don't ever forget the bad benefits. But again, just like computers, like when your computer does amazing things that you could never do, right? But if your computer goes down, knock on wood, right? Someone's got to fix it. A human's got to fix it, right? So we created the AI, and I'm telling you right now, a lot of that is from technology that is not ours, right? Area 51, you can believe what you want that's down there, but this technological advancements that we have aren't just pure curiosity of man and just what man's going to eventually do, or that he learns how to do this and then develops something. Look at some of the stuff we got going on, some of the technology that, I like to, give mankind some credit, but are we that fucking smart, right? No, we created a new species, technically dire wolves. We're not wolves. Okay, well, right. I mean, I guess I'm not one to like, and I'm not saying you're arguing, but I'm not one to like basically like in that situation, I guess argue semantics. Like I understand like those are very like what you're saying, but I'm like for all intents and purposes, like like I'm gonna live with the my belief that like we did technically bring back a 10,000-year-old species, because for all intents and purposes, minus semantics here and there, that we did, right. We were able to at least cross DNA from these whatever, whether they were a wolf or a dog or whatever they were, right. We got that DNA to live again and create it. So yeah, we like we pulled the Jurassic fucking Park, right? To be fair, though, I never watched the Game of Thrones, so dire wolves and all that shit at Game of Thrones, I just think it's something cool, right? It's like the people that won't believe in like UFOs or anything until something they see, like, but they'll always see something and debunk it before they'll believe it. I'm the person that I will believe it until it's debunked, right? I've seen things, whether it be spiritually, ghost-wise, or UFOs, that like until it's been debunked or until I can truthfully like debunk it 100%, then I'm gonna believe it, and I think that's okay for people to have that too, right? Yeah, so that's why I said we created a new species, right? And I agree with that, and that's cool because we like it's like it's like me having my liver, right? My new liver came from another person, right? That person is gonna be alive vicariously through me, not them as a whole or their soul, but a piece of them is in my body pumping through me, right? Well, my blood's pumping through it, and it's helping me stay alive, right? So I'm kind of a new species, right? Like I'm a fucking Mr. Potato Head, whatever you want to call me, the Bionic Man, whatever. Like I'm like a puzzle piece. Like they took out one piece and put in another. Like, do you guys understand the amazing like the toys that we played with, where you mixed and matched pieces and shit like that? That's what we can do with human beings, right? This is crazy. And there's already been articles about how they're not true DWs. Well, yeah, and okay, on two sides of that, right? Yeah, like you said, like I mean, I understand the facts behind it, but let people have like that. But also like on the other side, there's always going to be people that want to instantly attack anything cool that happens, right? Anything new, anything cool. People want to attack it. People instantly, as soon as Assassin's Creed Shadows comes out, right? I mean, people were hating it before, but people are. It's funny now that it's out. People actually love it. So that's the wrong example, but as soon as something comes out, people are always looking to shoot it down, no matter what, right? No matter what. They could literally see a fucking alien walk out of a spaceship, and they're automatically going to announce, find reasons. Or someone's going to say a direwolf is going to... No, I mean, I'm just saying, in total, like, someone's going to debunk it as all it was like a wolf pup from 2004, right? or they stole the pup from a neighbor's yard and then said it was a direwolf, right? Like, those people, those are the people that are coming, that I'm talking about, right? No, you're not. Well, you're still human. You don't get your organ from another species. Oh, shit. It doesn't count. Fuck. Well, to be fair, I am kind of like, RoboCop when I was, strung up and on all the everything going in and out of me. Right? And then they, they piece me together with another human. Right? Well, RoboCop was cyborg. Anyway, whatever, dude. I'm a fucking, I'm Mr. Potato Head, whatever. No, what's that game? Operation, literally. Anyway, but it's amazing to think that, like, literally we can interchange parts like we're action figures, right? Like my liver, that liver came out of them and went into me, and now like I'm functioning again, right? Like that's pretty cool. Like snapping Lego pieces together. No, it's not like that. I'm just having fun, man. I got you. But for all intents and purposes, right? We use 10,000-year-old DNA, and 10,000-year-old DNA is living right now in the form of that species, whatever we want to call it. Maybe we don't call it dire wolves, maybe we call them why can't we call them dire dogs or something like that, right? Or just call them dire pups and always call them dire pups, right? That species is a dire pup. Oh, what's a dire pup? Oh, it's a species that was brought back from mankind by using a dire wolf DNA and mixing it with a real wolf pup. So we call them dire pups, right? That makes sense. I'm down with that. That gives credit to wherever it needs to be, and it doesn't 100% say we brought back dire wolves, but we brought back. But we created. Now look at that. We created a species by using DNA that we brought back. That's 10,000 years old, right? Think of that. Think of that shit. That's insane. All this stuff. I grew up in the 70s. Well, I was born in 72, but I wasn't really like totally aware of the world until about the 80s. But the 80s was like amazing, right? So why not dire? Why not new wolves or super wolves? I mean, that's possible. But how long are they a new wolf, right? Like, or is that like New Hampshire? And then when the puppy's born, they have a new wolf? No, I'm just giving you shit. But super wolf. I think super wolf, something like super wolf, or why can't we call him like the movie Wolfen? That's what I'm saying. Right? Like, if you ever saw the movie, I know it's about werewolves, but we're talking about bringing DNA from a dire wolf back and a wolf pup, and then so why can't we call him like Wolfen, right? Do we have Wolfen? No, I know what you mean as a new species, like yeah, as in like New England, right? New dire or new wolf. It's the new wolf. But yeah, dude. But so it is. So we did. We took 10,000-year-old DNA and used technology to help it, like, help us create life. Do you, like, how crazy is that, right? This is shit, like, from Detroit Become Human. Oh, that was my point. Everything that I grew up watching, all these sci-fi things and all these, like, military advancement things, like, the shit's coming true, right? Whether it be a mixture of humankind, like, developing, brain-wise, mentally, whatever. But I think that we're also using technology that is not of ours. And we're advancing, and we're becoming, and things are happening. Dude, like flying cars, they're out there. There's like one or two that are, prototypes for most intents and purposes. We've got androids. We're now getting, like, building Robocops, like self-driving cars. Like, all this shit's coming true. And it's cool, but we just got to make sure we're fucking smart with it, right? Oh, we were going to read this one, right? My asshole for not helping a random. Where's the one that I was reading? Well, I don't need it. Isn't that the name they took to use to call the creatures in Game of Thrones or another like fantasy and stuff like that. There's dire wolves, but aren't like dire wolves normally either like the black vicious ones or the two-headed ones in like fantasy stories? I've read enough fantasy stories. I know like in Atreyu Never-Ending Story, a dire wolf is like that black dark fucking thing that wants to eat his face off, right? Maybe New World wolves, right? Because they're a species created in this new world. New World wolves. You know, it's a mouthful, but fuck, we got hippopotamuses and shit. You know, that's a mouthful. Anyway. Am I the asshole? Oh, we already did that one. That's the one about the dude running back up into the car. Oh, damn. Oh, here we go. We gotta go pick on the kid right here. But that's a fantasy interpretation. I'm talking fact. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know I don't know why they called them that. Maybe everybody was in dire straits. I don't know. Let's look it up. That's why we're here, right? Dire wolf canine that existed during the yep. During this era right here, the PE era, 2.6 million to 11,700 years ago, is probably the most common mammalian species. The dire wolf differed from the modern gray wolf, Canis lupus, in several ways. It was larger and it had a more massive skull, a smaller brain, and larger teeth than modern wolves, with relatively light limbs. Standing 96.5 centimeters, 38 inches tall at the shoulder. That's pretty fucking big, dude. Many dire wolves grew up 59. Dude, that's 38 inches? That's 3 feet to the shoulder, dude. That means, like, that's a pretty fucking big animal, bro. Many dire wolves grew up to 178 centimeters, 70 inches. God damn. And in length weighed between 59 and 130 to 150 pounds. The species was considerably widespread throughout North America, Mexico, blah, blah. The lineage included dire wolves and their ancestors emerged during that era, which lasted independently. Genetic studies first appeared in North America are more closely related. They're most closely related to jackals and African wild dogs of Africa and D-holes. Dickholes? What? They were called, these poor things were called D-holes. What the fuck, dude? That's messed up, man. They are the modern counterparts in America. So far, there is no evidence that they interbred with gray wolves. The biotechnology company Colossal Biosciences announced in 2025 that it had brought back the dire wolf by altering parts of the gray wolf genome. That is, the coding regions of DNA which encode all the genes. The company claimed that the technicians make 20 edits to 14 genes in gray wolf embryos, and implanting them in dog surrogates resulted in 3 pups with dire wolf fur color and fur texture, noting that these limited edits were enough to support their claim that they had resurrected the species Other geneticists working in academia and elsewhere remain skeptical. However, they argue that bringing back the species would require thousands of changes to thousands of genes, that the company's announcement was premature. See, if people like that, like, let us just have it, right? For all intents and purposes, it's not a true dire wolf. But let people have it. The technology that allowed us to even do what we did with that pup, with those pups, is pretty fucking impressive that, like, just let people have it, right? And if you're smart, deep down you know the reality of things and you know what happens. But in theory, and we can comfortably say that in theory, like, yeah, we brought back this species. We just didn't, bring it back as a whole. We brought it back as a crossbreed or whatever you want to say without. Well, I know you can't say inbreed. Or crossbreed sounds like rude, I guess, sometimes. As for well, I mean, it doesn't hurt anybody to say, this is what we did. I don't know. I just think technology advancements are coming that are allowing us to do shit like that. Like, probably within the next 5 years, we're gonna be able to, like, clone animals like they're a fucking carbon copy on a fucking Xerox machine. Fucking, I think they have the science ready. I think they just need to tweak, like, And then there was a fun theoretical question. Like, if I'm, like I have the liver transplant and different blood, or say, like, when I was sick, like, if you took my DNA to clone me, does that mean you're cloning the same blood and you're cloning the same traits and you're going to clone the same the disease, liver disease and all that, right? Or are you just like, or is doing the DNA cloning taking my pure DNA from, like, my creation as a human being and then creating that before everything happened to my DNA? Because does my DNA alter? Or just my body alters, right? Something to think about. If I had more people, we could, we could really get going. We could really get a topic. But how's your night going, man? Hey, listen, since, like, nobody, how is everything going with you? If you want to share, if you don't want to share, you can say, "Yo, Cutter, shut the fuck up." Kind of digging this funky music, though. I got it. I got it. I got it. I'm I'm grooving. I'm grooving on the podcast. I got it. I'm sorry. I'd rather use the science to clone organs for transplant purposes rather than people waiting long periods of time for transplants. Well, you're preaching to the choir, buddy. I got lucky enough that I got moved up the line. A lot of people don't get transplants because it's all there's a whole meld score system that, like, bases on, like, priority of, like, well, you might need a liver, but this person needs it more. Like, I was gonna die. Like, they were ready to pronounce me dead. So, like, I got escalated. Thank God. They said I was young enough. They believed that they could, save my life, and they did it. So yeah, transplants, dude. Yeah, I agree. Science to clone organs, like, and they grow them. You know that they have, like, liver farms, right? Like they actually like grow human livers. I got one human organ. Mine came out of a, whoever, I don't know. Unfortunately, I wrote the letter to the family, but that was in January after my 1 year, and I haven't heard anything back. So I'm a little bummed that I don't know that. I don't think I'm going to hear from them. Uh, I uh, but I had to let them know. Like part of my growth was to let them know that that's not going in vain. The sacrifice that the family member gave by giving up their liver. Well, obviously, if they were a donor, but you know what I mean. If they were to clone them, these waiting lists would go away. Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. I mean, I'm just saying that we have like the liver farms, like they grow them, but I'm just saying like we try to like we're doing things to try and like make more organs readily available for more people. The only thing I could say is I got lucky. Like I got lucky. Somebody up there and somebody down here wanted me kept around, right? I never walk around like, ha ha, I got a liver and you didn't. I never do that. If anything, I feel bad, and I always ask God for forgiveness that sometimes like I ask him like why, and not in the sense of like I don't want it, in the sense of like why me, like why was I the one lucky? The liver is the only organ that can regen itself. Yeah, exactly. Although, except for when you do what I did to it, right? But that's the thing is people need to stop using that to justify drinking alcohol, right? Because even though your liver can repair yourself if, say, you're not a heavy drinker, one, you're still damaging your body, and it's kind of like charging a battery. When a battery goes down, you charge it to full. Eventually, the mercury or whatever, the battery stops giving you a full charge, right? So, like, people are like, oh, I only drink on the weekends, and they drink whatever. Like, it'll regen, but at some point it won't, right? At some point you're going to affect yourself in your body. But I hate that, people use that as like, oh, well, my liver will regenerate itself. Well, it doesn't mean to go out and fucking kick the shit out of it, have it driven over by a fucking car, taking a baseball bat to it, and then put back in your body, right? Like, fuck, dude. But, no, we definitely need to learn. I mean, if we could just clone them like a Xerox machine, we'd be saving a lot of lives. But we also got to remember, you're going to have, like, there's a thing, so I got my liver transplant, but I have to, like, every once in a while, they'll randomly in my blood test, they won't tell me, but they'll take the blood for the test for alcohol, right? Because at any point, if I have alcohol in my system, they're going to, I can lose all my medical rights and everything. But there's no worry about that. That will never go in my body again, right? So... But anyway. But I'm super lucky to be alive, dude. I know there's 1,000 million other people. Well, I mean, I don't want to put the numbers up too high because that's, sad, but... there's many a person out there that is in need of a liver transplant. And somehow the people around me, the care workers, my family, the social workers that, are the ones that push my case to try and get the liver, they busted their asses, man. Those are the people that I thank for being here. They say that I'm a fighter and that, like I should, I'm a walking miracle and I deserve to take credit for fighting, and I'm like, it's hard for me, really. I'm too humble for that, right? Just coming through to show some love and support. Classroom time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. CJC Academy. What is that? But thank you. I feel like that's the like I feel like it is my group with like my medical group that she said there's a class that meets, but I don't think that's them. Somebody came through on TikTok, but I don't know what the. Oh, right. Sorry, totally went into a daydream. Am I the asshole for punishing my son for playing with Legos? Well, guys, you have to have a title, but based on that title, like, what the fuck? He's playing with his Legos. But probably because he stepped on him. Played where he wasn't supposed to, and she stepped on him, right? How's that for a background, huh? Whoa. Whoa. Fuck. Ow. Oh. Ow. Ow. God damn. Sorry. Um, 35-year-old, 33-year-old male. I have a 5-year-old son, Finn, not his real name. Thank you for clarifying, Dick. I'm sorry. I just like people. We don't give a shit either way, right? We're gonna read this and then we're gonna forget about it, right? We don't care if it's his real name or not. So just say the name. We're gonna assume that names in these things are made up because your profile is blocked. It's a made up username. So we don't have to be given the instruction that it's not his real name. Okay. Who's the light of my life? I'm an involved parent. He loves baseball, and almost every day we throw the ball around in the backyard. His mom, 30-year-old female, and I take turns reading to him every night. I know everyone says this about their kid, but he's genuinely a great kid. I don't say what everybody else is also going to say. Just give it some time. The day is going to come, right? The trouble comes because lately Finn's been having trouble with a boundary, and it's pitting my wife and I against each other. See, the day has come. I work a very stressful job that involves some late nights and long weekends. Not all the time, but specifically during my industry's busy season it happens. Between that and being an involved parent, I have very little time to myself, which is fine. But one of the ways that I distress is that I have a pretty expensive logo collection. I know, it's a kid's toy, whatever. But ever since I was a kid, I imagined making enough money. And I could buy however many I wanted, and at the end of a long day, there was nothing more relaxing than putting an old record and watching something take shape in front of you. Lately, my son has been taking more and more of an interest in Legos, which is great because it's another thing for us to share. I lost track. I even brought him one of those Lego boxes that's filled with lots of random bricks, and we'll get into a little parallel play. Only academy I ever attended was U.S. Army School of America's at Fort Benning, Georgia. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know what that thing was. It's just a scam thing or whatever. I looked it up. It's a marketing company. They just a fucking scam bot on TikTok or whatever. Because I have my podcast up for TikTok and stuff, so when I'm talking about shit, people can listen to it if they want. Do they? That's another question. Will they? That's all I can hope. But yeah, it was just something that came through. I for half a second thought it might be because with part of my recovery there are like meetings with and classes with other patients, other liver survivors, transplant survivors, and the way it was worded was similar, but I mean I'm smart enough to differentiate. That's why I'm like, oh, I also know how to do research. But it's just a scam thing. Yours definitely was no scam. Yeah, I don't think we need to look that up, but we can. But we don't have to. I'll take your word for it. Because we don't allow them boys coming in here telling them lies on the Cutter Dog podcast show. No, we kick them to the curb. The problem is, lately my son has been taking more of an interest in Legos, which is great because it's another thing for us to share. I even bought him one of those Lego boxes that's filled with lots of random bricks, and we'll get into a little parallel play. What does that mean? You just lay side by side, right? I guess that's what he means. I'm cool with that. Just lay down, fucking just start putting shit together. I always just made big fucking squares. I couldn't make shit unless I fucking had a diagram. And even then, now when I build Legos, like my Star Wars Legos come out clean, but if I try to just build something of my own of Legos, it either was just stacking them all together in one long fucking line, or building just a square. Like, I couldn't build fucking shit. You can look it up. I don't care. It's interesting. Alright, what are we looking up now? We're looking up the Academy? Is that what we're looking up? The U.S. Army School of the Americas. Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds a little made up there, buddy. Is that like the South Harmon Institute of Technology? Did you ever see that movie, Accepted? Phenomenal movie. I'm telling you. phenomenal movie, and the ending is fucking amazing. Uh, but they made a fake school in that movie, and they called themselves the South Harmon Institute of Technology, SHIT. Shit, we're shitheads for life. It's fucking great. Okay, where was I? U.S. Army. Trying to piece together all these made-up words over here. U.S. Army School of the Americas. Oh, these are tuition things. Is that so? You lie. I don't see no. Oh, here we go. Did I do it wrong? I did it like you said. U.S. Army School of the Americas. Oh, at Fort Benning. This one right here. Military Civilian University. Excuse me. Is that it? Scroll down. Okay. Western Hemisphere Institute. It's the South Harmon Institute of Technology. Controversial School of the Americas closes. Hey, dude, is that it? Right here, United States Army School of the Americas. Is it this one? And it looks like it's closing down regardless. Unless that other article is bullshit. This is it? Look at it. Look at this. You made this up real quick. Look at this. This is just like a fucking printed thing on a like Word document. You made this up, dude. This is fake. This is like the South Harmon Institute. Look at this. Somebody just made this up. This is fake. This report provides background information on the School of the Americas, a U.S. Army training facility largely for Spanish-speaking Latin American cadets and officers. Okay, so I'm going to ask the obvious question, which is probably already in this. You're Hispanic, I'm assuming? Like, you can't go there if you're white, right? Like, no white people. You have your own. Get the fuck out, right? So, okay. I mean, that's cool. It reviews the history and background of the school, discusses. Oh, okay. School Americas originally established in 1946. Controlled Panama Canal Zone as Latin America Center Ground Division in 1963. The school acquired its current name, and Spanish became. Oh, isn't this it right here? Right, we want to go Wikipedia, right? Wikipedia is the shit. That other thing looked like you fucking typed it up real quick. Right? That's what that other thing looked like. Sorry, my daughter's texting me. Western Hemisphere. Dude, see, it's the South Institute, whatever. Western Hemisphere Institute for Security Cooperation. So, WHISIC. WHISIC? Western Hemisphere Institute of the WinSec. They call it WinSec. That's what I said, but I was saying it my own way. WinSec. Oh, WinSec. WinSec. Formerly the School of the Americas, is the United States Department of Defense school located at Fort Benning, briefly known as Fort Moore in Columbus, Georgia. The school being renamed in 2001 National Defense Authorization Act. The institute was founded in 1946. By the year 2000, more than 60,000 Latin American law enforcement and security personnel had attended the school. Oh, so you were in military? You were military and police? Am I not doing that right? I just lost my fucking hold on, I lost everybody. Hold on. Sorry. I had to. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Hold on. This sucks, dude. Why is it doing this to me? There we go. Stupid thing, sorry. WinSec is its current name. Special Forces also attended. No, I'm not Spanish, and you don't have to be to attend. Oh. So what made you go there then? Versus, I guess, anyway, I know, just because it says it's predominantly, like, I guess it's for like Hispanic students, so that's why was it just because you were in that area? Because I mean, it says in this thing that it's predominantly for. Where did it go? There it is. I was Special Forces in the Army. Oh, let's go. Like, yeah. I always said that if I had applied myself based on how I play like the Division and Modern Warfare, and I always like to be like super tactical and I'm super aware of things. I think you've seen me play fucking Division 2. Like, not often do I get flanked, or do I not know where everybody is at it. Even if I don't look at the radar, I just have good situational awareness, like, right? And I thought that I think that if I had applied myself instead of being a drunk, I could have been like a Navy SEAL or Black Ops or even Special Forces, you know, like something like that. I really think I could have, but I never applied myself. But I always think when I play some of these games, I know it's just a video game, but I'm talking about the mental part, the strategy, you know, the thinking ahead of like how I can keep myself undercover, how I can spot them, where they all are in the fucking in the rooms or in the buildings. Like I think that would have made me good. Not necessarily like maybe I'm not good at shooting a gun, but I still think I would learn how. But I mean, I'd have to. But you know what I mean, right? Like I'm just saying that I think based on how I strategize and play the games the way I do, I think I would have been really good at that. So I was in during the Cold War. Oh shit. Oh, clearly thank you for your service, but hell yeah, you're still here kicking. Let's go. Right? Fuck that shit. You got any good stories, or is it all classified? I'm Special Forces. I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you. I'm older than you, by the way. Is that why you call yourself White Werewolf? Because you have like you're white, like an old furry guy. I didn't know that. Like older, like are we talking? Because I'm 53, so 56. All right, so we're right in the same age gap. Okay, I thought you were gonna hit me with like a 84 or something like that, which would have totally been fine. Like I don't care. I want my followers to be anywhere 18 and over. I could care less. But yeah. So I mean I'll be 53 in June, and then good lord, my daughter's turning 16. Fucking 16, and I wasted like fucking 14 of those years being stupid. But yeah, she's gonna be 16, man. That's crazy. No, that's not why it's white werewolf. Oh, I just thought maybe like you got fur and you like werewolves. Well, white werewolf. Let me see. White werewolf. Is it something that potentially I could guess? Like it's your favorite fantasy character, or is this something like in your lineage bloodline there was a soldier named White Werewolf or something like that? Like I'll never guess. Or is it something I have a shot at? Because I'm pretty good. Like when I see people's like Twitch handles or gamer tags, like I can kind of pretty well guess what they're coming from, even the odd ones, right? My oldest will be 31 this year. Damn, that's crazy. Well, I mean, I didn't have a child until I was 40. Well, whatever. I can't do the math right now. Whatever 53 minus 16 is. Well, yeah, 16 years ago, whatever the fuck that is. 2007 or something like that. Anyway, no, none of those reasons. All right. Damn, it's like a favorite book or just you fucking White Werewolf. Is it a favorite drink? All right, now I gotta know, man. If you don't tell me, I'm gonna sick these two motherfuckers back here screwing around behind me. This guy right here, and this girl right here, and they're gonna come over there and kick your ass. I seen them use those lightsabers, so don't fucking around. I got burn marks on the back of my head because they keep hitting me. Ow, ow, damn it. Sorry, the reason why you're listening to me chew on some peanuts is we're waiting patiently for White Werewolf's answer on whether or not, or where his tag, his Twitch handle came from. Or are you not telling us? I need to know one, or I need a no or a yes. If it's a no, I'm sicking these two motherfuckers on you. Do you know why I'm Cutter Dog? Were you in here when I talked about why I'm Cutter Dog? So you said no, and I forgot. I have had the nickname of Werewolf for ages. Oh God! Please don't let it be like that's the sound you sound like a werewolf howling when you have sex or some shit like that. Like, please don't let that be it. And if it is, we don't want to. We'll just keep that part out of the story. It'll just be a mystery. White werewolf, as mysterious as the mysterious, but you never told me why werewolf? Just because you had that name? I think I need to know. Like, is it family related? Did you pull it out of a book? Something military? Something special forces? That's got to be right. White werewolf? Is that your? Oh my God! Is that like your call? I guess special forces, they wouldn't call it a call sign, right? Well, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I'm Cutter Dog. Because when I was playing a high school football, nobody could pronounce my name right. The coaches couldn't. The players couldn't. Like, nobody could. So one day they're like, man, your name's too hard to say, so we're gonna call you Cutter. And I'm like, all right, so it's stuck. And even when they interviewed in the paper, that's what they said. Oh, the football team gave him his name. So when I was in high school football, I was given a name so people could refer to me easier. Because, in sports, man, the camaraderie. Oh, you'll tell me, but not here. Oh, shit. It's that personal? All right. Well, then, that's fine. But so everybody started calling me Cutter, so it stuck. And then when I started streaming, I'm like, I've had gamer tags where I've called myself like Big Dog, or so I just wanted something a little like I'm more of a edgier gamer, so I'm like Cutter Dog. So Cutter, which most people refer to me as, some people call me Cut. Some people call me, one person calls me CD. But that's where Cutter came from. It is my nickname for my last name. And then it stuck, and then the dog was just tagged on because I wanted to be like a little tough gamer dude. And so that was it. That is the Cutter Dog that you know. And usually, like, a lot of my tags will be either Batman, Star Wars, or my nickname related. So The reason is sort of unusual. Oh God. Hey, it's fine. It's whatever. I mean, I don't. If it's like that, you don't even have to tell me. Like, not to sound like a dick, but I don't have to know like that bad. And if it involves something around your genitals, then I really don't want to know. So, like, it's like, why is your name Dick Assman? Because it rhymes with thick bass can. Oh, okay, yeah, that seems legit. When the Institute was still known as the School of the Americas, it had what is described as a Hall of Fame, honoring its most accomplished alumni. It include Bolivian dictator, that guy, drug lord Manuel Noriega. Oh, good, a drug lord helped run a university. That's important. Or no, he was an alumni. Oh. Wait, like a drug lord was an alumni? Dude, I don't know, man. Why? Look at this. It's got. It had what it described as a Hall of Fame honoring its most accomplished alumni. It included Bolivian dictator Hugo Banez Suarez, drug lord Manuel Noriega, and Guatemalan general whatever, who is currently a fugitive wanted on charges of torture. These are the guys that went to this fucking school, bro. Now I know why you fucking pack a. Now I know why you're the way you are, man. This school taught you some crazy shit. Obviously, has nothing to do with sex genitals or any of that shit. Okay, hey, I'm just making sure, man. You know, people come up. I mean, there's people walking around like fucking fart box smeller or some shit like that. Somebody came in the stream named like something smelly fart box or some shit. I don't put it past people. I know it's probably something to do with, I don't know. I don't care. I mean, I'm just having fun with it. Don't You'll be all right. But yeah, it doesn't sound like the graduating class for this thing is very Latino American Training Center Ground Division. School trained Latin American military personnel to use artillery and advanced weapons purchased from the U.S. Army soon renamed the division the Latin American Ground School and divided into 3 departments: engineering, communications, and weapons and tactics. The school is affiliated with Army training schools in Panama that included the Food Service, Motor Mechanics School, and the Medical School. Chronic under-enrollment occurred during the school's first few years. Noriega was also leader of Panama. I know that's not the reason I own and carry a gun. I know, I'm just fucking having fun, dude. I'm just like, oh, so those are the people. So that's what they teach you at that school, huh? This guy graduated fucking with a degree in drug lords. I'm gonna be the best drug lord ever. I'm just kidding, dude. I'm having fun. Obviously, those are just circumstances, right? Um, so basically, they were just schools put in like Latin American areas or Caribbean areas and stuff like that. So that's why mostly those that's the kids that went there. So I mean, that's cool, right? What the fuck? Oh, of course it got renamed because I'm sure something about those. Yeah, of course. School of the Americas officially renamed the facility U.S. Army School of the Americas. Oh, renamed it to that, right. To better reflect its hemispheric orientation. By its closure in 2000. Oh, so it's not even open anymore. Closed in 2000. The USARSA had graduated 60,428 officers, cadets, non-commissioned officers, police, and civilian defense officials from 22 Latin American countries and the U.S. That's pretty cool, man. During the mid-1960s, the school was one of several institutions through which the U.S. Army augmented training in jungle warfare. That's pretty cool, man. Besides, I was part of Operation Just Cause, the invasion of Panama in 1989, which led to Noriega's capture. Right on. Hey, Just Cause. That's a game. That's a good series of games, actually. But yeah, I remember. I mean, in 1989, I was still like going to Poison concerts and watching Star Wars. It's because I took a different route. But that is very interesting, man. That is pretty cool. So, I think for now we're going to shut down Kick, TikTok, and YouTube since they're not going to be able to